Dear friends, welcome on my YouTube channel, and in today's video I want to share with you a new art tutorial, a step-by-step guide on how to draw and paint this beautiful landscape. In this way I want to share with you more about how we mix up green colors and how we add this on our palette, and as well here I want to share with you more knowledge about the aerial perspective and as well about different techniques in watercolors, like for example the techniques of wet on wet and wet on dry that we usually use in our works. For those of you who are for the first time here, my name is Alla, I'm a sketch illustrator and watercolorist, and from 2020 I'm an art teacher too. For this class you will need a watercolor paper A5 size, you will need a washi tape, you will need a pencil and an eraser to draw the landscape, and then you will need watercolors. I will be using my 36 watercolors pens, white night. If you have a palette with less colors, don't worry, we don't need so many colors. You will need also a big paintbrush, a flat one, because we will use it for wetting the paper and to work with wet on wet technique on this work. And then with a bigger paintbrush, but already round one, we will need it for applying the colors as the base color. And for the details we will use a number 4 Nova Synthetics by Da Vinci paintbrush, a smaller paintbrush for details. We will also need a hair dryer, water and some tissues. Now we will manage to work with different shades of green and yellow color, and for this we will create a beautiful composition of a wheat field that is almost done, almost grown up. As far as you see on the reference, the horizontal line, it is almost up in the middle. What we will do, we will make it a little bit higher to the middle. I really insist that you watch my YouTube video about perspective and about composition, how we managed to create an interesting composition that were used by many artists. Even if the clouds are really interesting in this reference, we are not working on clouds today. We will draw those, but if you want to learn how to paint clouds, then I advise you to go with the previous class where you can learn more about it. Somewhere in the background we have some trees, and those we have in a bunch of trees. And as far as you see, we don't see those like really different, with different shapes. We take like all in one. And a very interesting perspective we can see over here of our work. So the drawing is done. Let's start with painting. We are working once again with wet on wet technique, and for this reason I'm wetting my paper. Oh, here I have a hair. I will take it out, that it is not appearing later on the work. As I mentioned in many of my classes, we are wetting really well the paper, because what I will do is that this paper will stay on the table and won't get wavy. I'm trying to wet really well the edges, because the edges are first to come up when the work is drying. very important when waiting that we don't have this kind of a lot of wet drops on the paper, that this water is smashed within all the paper and that we can paint. So let's start. I'm going to work with Da Vinci paintbrush today. And for the clouds, I have some really light blue straight on the horizontal line, and I will take for this color cerulean blue color. Over here. And once the clouds are coming up, I have warmer colors, and I have some ochre colors. I will mix the cerulean with ochre colors and will make these clouds warmer. I will take more water because those are not so dark. And in between I have this kind of gray color, but if you look closer, actually it is more violet color. It is not gray. The gray color is getting with different shades, and I will mix up ultramarine color with ruby color, and I will add a lot of water over here. And I think that I will take my synthetics, the smallest one, to get less color, to get less water and more color. It is lovely that this color is getting mixed with the cerulean blue and then with ochre color. What I will do, I will mix this ochre color with some violet color to get the darker tones over here. Okay, the clouds are done. Now it's the turn of this shape, and here we have yellow color, but I would say that we will take ochre color more. We will mix the yellow color with ochre color and we'll make this kind of transition. Because we are working wet on wet and this part it is still wet, what we do, we are applying the first layer, but at the same time we are not forgiving about different colors. Over here we will have really cold colors of our trees. It will be a cold green, but once it comes up to our eyes it will have a warmer color. Because of the aerial perspective, we always try to identify where the colors are warmer and where the colors are colder. So for example, on the horizontal line always the colors are colder if it is daylight. If it is and then we have upper, over here we have warmer colors, and all that comes up to our eyes it is warmer. Instead, when it is about the sunset or when the sun is just getting down, then we have over here all the colors really warm, and all that is closer to our eyes, it is colder. I haven't mentioned, but I applied as well raw sienna, and I'm not applying only ochre color, but I tried to mix up these colors and to make different shapes, different shades, to make it more interesting. So I'm making a mix of Mars color, raw sienna colors, and ochre colors. You see, my paper is, because it is only 200 GSM, it is getting dried already. If your paper it is 100% cotton or 30% cotton, then it would be like wet and you will have enough time to use it. I'm taking more yellow colors. As you see, I have green colors over here, but I tried to create the first layer, and now is when I will apply some greens. I will use my olive oil green because I like it very much. And here I will apply more green color, green with sepia. We have lots of green warm colors with darker shades like sepia, like Mars brown color. I will take more ochre color because it seems like it is too light. Cadmium yellow ochre and cadmium yellow medium. I'm taking. Intensifying the colors, because when we are working wet on wet technique, usually the colors are getting lighter. And about front of view, I'm taking green color, normal green color, and let's mix up with some umber color. Umber color is more green and it will make this effect of darker shapes easier. Take a look at how I use my paintbrush. I already create this feeling of weight that is coming up on all sides. I'm taking sepia color only because here I have a very clear dark small wave. Small walk, I would say. You see? And here as well. I apply some darker tones already. I took sepia. I will take my paintbrush synthetics. I'm removing all the water that it has on it. I'm taking this green color and create this kind of feeling of the wheat that is growing on all sides. You know? This is beautifully created while the paper is still wet. Then we will adjust some details that are in front of us. But at this step, what we do, we play around the color and to create this effect of the wheat that is coming up in different directions. I'm taking olive green color. I'm continuing to work with the olive green color, and I will always say that don't be afraid of working with wet on wet technique. It is not so difficult. The only way that you have to take attention or to pay attention is that you have to work really fast. It is true that wet on wet technique requires some skills that you have to learn to work really fast with this technique. Why I apply on the fields this olive oil color is because we don't have only yellow and ochre colors, but we have some greenery. So now is a good moment to dry everything and to work on wet on dry technique already and to create some details. As far as you saw, I dried perfectly over here because I will need to work on this cheese that stays on the horizontal line, but over here it is still a little bit wet because I will work on details, but still I don't want to have really visible edges. Now I'm taking my synthetics and I'm taking some green color and indigo color. Indigo is really blue color, very dark one, and we start to play with the shapes. Very interesting thing is that because of drawing these trees on the horizontal line, we automatically differentiate the edge of the width and of the sky, because and the width and the sky have a really smooth layer transition from one color to another. And because of adding this greenery over here, it creates this feeling of straight edge, and that we can work with. And I play with the shapes. I will take more indigo color to create a colder effect of the trees. Now we will work on the first plan, because even the first layer is enough to work on this part of the field, because you don't want to create too many details over here, and I think that this is just enough. Now we will work on this first side. For this I will start to work with light colors. I will work with yellow and ochre colors. I'm mixing up yellow, ochre color, and for easier work we use this paintbrush that is synthetics, and we fill it with the color to make these shapes. We can take even raw sienna and we create this yellowish interesting field. I will take more sienna and burnt sienna. Burnt sienna is working really good over here. And let's take more green color. Let's take olive green color. And let's make the same. Keeping up with the details. We don't make perfect lines. We try to look for different shapes, for different ways of how this weed is coming along. Now I'm taking green color. creating more green shapes. Okay, enough green. Now I'm mixing up this green with sepia, really dark color. Adding some final touches. And the work is done. I hope you enjoyed the process of drawing and painting this landscape with me. If you have any questions and doubts, you can leave any comment down below. I will be happy to answer all of your questions. As well, I invite you to follow me on Instagram and share your works over there. Don't forget to tag me, and this way I will see your works and I can share those on my stories, or I can give you a feedback if you want it. And as well, don't forget to subscribe on this channel if you haven't subscribed yet, because in these next videos I will share more art tutorials, more tips on how to paint with me. Thank you for painting with me, and till the next time, bye!